Well folks, I've made a bit of an executive decision when it comes to not this particular build, but the other one that I was doing for Senna's Lotus. I've decided to leave it because for now, that is, I'm going to do it with Kiasha because she loves Senna, she loves F1. It's more appropriate to do it with her, and also I'm not enjoying that series, to be honest. Like, I'm finding every installment to be quite frustrating, and this one I enjoy a lot more. The views on both of them aren't that great because of YouTube at the moment anyway, so I'm just going to stick to this one, and then we'll get to the F1 build whenever we get to it. So, for this first one, I've already gone ahead and put our tyre in some boiling water again, like with before, because we are returning to building the wheel and putting the wheel in the tyre. With number 58, you will probably be able to hear some background ooh kind of noises as well, because it's extremely humid in the UK right now, so I've got multiple fans on. So we've got our wheel inner. Of course, we'll bring this one back in from last time, doubtless, in a second. And we have the restraining straps, or the harness as they call it, for the spare wheel, because that's actually what we're doing this time. And of course, a whole assortment of screws. So, step one, position the wheel inner over the wheel assembly. So pop these two together, as we know all too well at this point. Okay, so those two are together with some pressure. Then fill a container. Yep, we've already done that with our spare tyre. I should have picked up a cloth, which I don't have. So instead of a cloth, we're using a bit of tissue, or quite a few bits of tissue. Pop that one there. And if we read ahead, we already know the drill anyway, but fill a container large enough to have the spare. Put the tyre in the water until it becomes soft. Carefully remove the tyre. Check if it bends easily. We can already see that the bending is pretty good at the moment, or about as good as it's going to be. Once the tyre is pliable, work the spare wheel inside as shown in the image. So if we move that off a little bit, we will then use, or I'll try and use these actually from the GT40 kit to get the tyre out of the water. And place it on there. Draw it off a little bit. Tyre inside, and while it's still nice and malleable, which it is, try and get you on. Okay, and our tyre is on without too much fuss. Last time, as some of you will probably remember, I used the screwdriver as a bit of a tyre iron. This time I tried a different method, just put it on the table, squash it down. I may have even kept some of the footage in there, but that was pretty much just as easy, to be honest, to do that. Just give it plenty of force. Okay, so now flip over, and we need to retrieve the chassis assembly, which you can see here. Place the spare wheel into the post, and we are placing our spare right on there like that. Then secure the wheel with a screw, FP04 screw. Okay, that one is nice and secure. Step 5, position the spare wheel harness, which we still need to get out, over the spare wheel as shown in a Y formation. Position the 3 belts in a 3-point configuration, so one of them is vertical, like I said, in a Y formation. Secure the front of the harness with an FD01. Okay, so that one is tied in there. I actually use the tweezers from the Lotus build as well. If you've got your own tweezers, it definitely helps. Then secure each side of the harness to the sides of the spare wheel housing with 2 FP01s. And that is that. So it's a bit of a loose fit, which it seems that their version in the picture is a bit tighter. And I'm not sure exactly how they got that to be the case. I'm guessing that that's just going to kind of hang there though. But yeah, either way, unless I've missed something, but I don't think so, but unless I've missed something, that would appear to be the right way. And if we put that one down, that is now stage complete. So with that, that is 58 done, and now of course, on to 59. Okie dokie, so you'll notice a couple of changes probably between the first part of the video and this one. First of all, facial hair change. Secondly, lighting change. Thirdly, the fan is a lot quieter now. It's actually almost an entire day later because I had to go and do some other stuff. So we're back now to do part 59. And I have turned off one of the fans because it was just a bit too close and a bit too loud. So in 59 we have our parts here as well. We're actually starting on a new piece, I think. I don't recall us doing anything else with this, but it's the transmission in particular. This first one being the Rotoflex gearbox couplings. So we've got those there, we'll get those out. Looks like it's marked with R and L, which is good. Step one, so fit one of the bearing seals one. So two of these have an extra little nodule and two of them don't. It would appear that 59B is the one that does. So if you're looking for the difference yourself, two of them have these little raised pieces and the other two have just a little insert instead. So the male and female in old engineering terms. So attach the seal number 1 to seal number 2. Okay, so we do need one of each anyway. Insert the 3 posts of one of the Rotoflex coupling mounts, 59D. Looks like those are probably identical. Into the corresponding holes in one of the seal assemblies. Place the Rotoflex coupling left, 59E, so that one is marked with an L. No, we've done that one. Place the coupling marked with the letter L onto the reverse side of the previous assembly, aligning the 3 holes with the ends of the mount posts. Secure the parts with 3 screws. Okay, and that one is screwed in. So if we flip over the page, step 5, fit the second coupling. So by the look of things, we are basically repeating the same thing. Okay, and with that one done, we now have both of those. And according to this, we are now stage complete. So a pretty simple one there. And now, of course, on to number 60. So for number 60 then, it would appear that we are starting our work on the transmission proper, as you can see. So we have this nice metal piece. Of course, bringing back these presumably that we just did. We've got a couple of screws as well. So, retrieve the coupling left, which is this one. Align the 3 posts on the coupling with the corresponding holes in the transmission case left. The parts can only fit together in one orientation as shown. So, right about on here on this circular area, push the coupling into place. Yes, we've done that. Secure the coupling from inside with an FP01 screw. Okay, and with that one nice and tight on there, screwed in from the inside, that is stage complete. So once again, a pretty quick one. Presumably we'll probably be repeating the same thing next, but that's it for part number 60. Now on to 61. So for section 61, it would appear that we are indeed repeating the same process. In fact, when I first looked at this after the other one, it looked like they reprinted the same thing twice, but there is a slight variation. So we've got another piece of the transmission, of course, bringing over this one as well, and we've got our screws yet again. So retrieve the coupling, and presumably we're repeating the same thing, so it certainly looks to be the case. And with that done, that is a very reminiscent piece complete, and of course, part 61 complete as well. So now onto the final one for this episode, 62. So then for part 62, it would appear that we are bringing together, as you would assume, the transmission pieces that we've just been doing. We also have these new pieces as well. Looks to be quite a lot of smaller stuff. We've got some screws, a couple of parts. So if we flip over, place the transmission case control lever, 62C, this one, into the corresponding points in the transmission case right. So that would be this one. Insert the pivot of the lever into the small hole on the right side of the transmission case and the larger ring into the corresponding boss. Press fit the lever and turn the gearbox over, securing the 2 parts from inside with a screw. Okay, so that one's nicely tightened in there. Step 2, insert the posts on the underside of the transmission case upper cover. 62A, so I believe that is this one. Onto the corresponding holes in the top of the transmission case right. So this one once again, I believe, and that would be actually no. It looks like they've actually done a misprint here, because it says their transmission case right, but then in the image it shows the one marked L. And also the one marked L has these two holes, which we have in the image, and right doesn't have those two holes. So I think that's a misprint there. It's the first one I've noticed, I think. Secure the cover from inside with 2 more screws. Okay, so that one is secured on there. Starting to come together nicely. Step 4, insert the tab on the transmission case rear cover, which I believe is this piece, into the notch at the rear of the transmission case right. So let's see, do they actually mean that? Nope, they've once again called it the right one, even though it's the left. Okay, so we've got that one under that orientation, and then that would be attached, I think, in that direction, by the look of things. Fix in place with an FD01. Okay, so that one is on there. Then step 5, retrieve the case left, or in this case, right. And then align the corresponding posts of the 2 halves. Transmission coming together nicely. It's got a nice weight to it as well. Press the 2 parts together as shown. Check they are aligned correctly. Yep, looks about as close to perfect as I can get. And if we flip on over, support the case on its left side. Well, that's a matter of perspective. Secure the 2 halves with FD01 screws in each of the 3 holes. So that would be that side, like I said, matter of perspective. Okay, so with those tightened in, it's looking pretty great. So there's our built transmission, and that is stage complete. And with that, that's step 62 complete, and of course, this episode complete as well. So I'll see you next time with more next month. And of course, as I said at the start of this episode, this will be the one that I'm focusing on now, and then we'll return to the Lotus at some future time, which is TBC. So thanks for joining me once again. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.